Okay, good afternoon. In this tutorial we are going to be focusing on HTML lesson 5. I have done from lesson 1 and this is the 5th lesson, and it's going to be about forms as displayed in this cover photo here that is going to be available on the video. Now this is it with the cover photo. It's going to be looking like this, and the video is going to be about forms in HTML. Note it that the previous videos I did from video 1 up to video 4, they cover a lot of aspects concerning HTML, and they could be useful to a learner more so in ordinary level Ugandan curriculum. I'm going to be basing on this prototype to design forms. The prototype is right here. I'm going to open it with Adobe. It is right here. So by the end of the video, I will have done this first page. It's going to be looking like this, and I'll also have done the second page, which is also going to be looking like this one here. Now that is the second page. It's going to be looking like that, and it's going to have those various types of forms. And the first page will also be looking like that, and it's going to be having those kinds of forms and the designs you see there. Straight away, I want to go and design the forms. I want to create my folder. I'm going to rename it forms. I want to be renaming it forms, and I want to just open it and go to the start button. I look for Notepad, the normal text editor we use before we go to the advanced text editors. Now this is the Notepad I'm going to be using, and I'm going to create, of course, 2 pages. And to save time, I'm going to create the basic codes, and I'll just copy it 2 times to make the 2 pages I could need. And I'm going to create it 2 times because I know for a viewer who has been following my videos from video 1, you already know how to do this, and hope you've been perfecting it in all the videos you've been going through. The title is forms, and I'm going to create the body tag. And the body tag is going to bear what our pages should have. Now let me first save this. I'm going to save it as under desktop. I'm going to look for the folder I'm using forms. Then I'm going to save it as form1.html. Then I just give it all files. Then I click at save. I'm going to save this again in order to save the time of creating another basic code. I could save it again under forms. Then I save it as form2.html. Then I go to all files and click at save. Now I can close this. Then I can go back to form1, right click at it, and then open with Notepad, so that I can start creating the content I need in form1. Now my form1 is looking like that, and whenever we are doing something basic in HTML, I always like to put my work in the center to bring that tidiness, because when you don't put the work in the center, HTML is going to be putting your text on the left, which could seem so sketchy, and of course it could not be of high impression. So it's better you put your content in the center, and mind the colors you use. It is better for you to leave colors other than choosing wrong colors for your pages and for your text. It's better for you to leave your page in white, or the color that's not that dark, rather than using a very dark color that could even kill the impression of your page. Now this is it. My page 1 is going to have this content, Marvin Kasozi learning area, and I'm going to straight away do that. Now under form 1, of course, I'm going to type Marvin Kasozi learning area. I think that is it, and I could just create registration form. Then there is also login form. Now note that registration form is pushed to the next line. I can put a P paragraph. Then login is also pushed to the next line. I can also put a P, and I could leave Marvin Kasozi learning area without a P, and then I see how my machine is going to behave. Not to put your work in the center. I want all my work to be in the center. That's why I'm putting the center tag at the beginning of Marvin Kasozi, and I'm going to also close the center tag at the end of my work. So all my work is going to be in the center. Let me first save this, then go to form 1, open it with, I can open it with Firefox. I see how it is going to behave. There we are. The content is in the center, and it's what I wanted according to my prototype, but it's Marvin Kasozi with some bigger letters and with a red color. Of course, at the beginning of Marvin Kasozi, I'm going to open a font tag, and then I close a font tag at this, because I want the color to only affect Marvin Kasozi learning area. Font color, I can put color is equal to, I want red, and sorry, I can give it a size that is at least 10. I can put a 10, and I save, and then I refresh here. I see what the machine does. Seems 10 is so big, I can reduce the 10 to 5. I see what it does. Save. Better. So this is it, and my prototype had exactly what my search engine is having. So I'm straight away heading to the image at my first login form. Now the image I'm going to be using, I'm going to pick this image from HTML5. I'm going to be using the image of passport. Let me first view what is under passports. Okay, then passport photo. Okay, so let me use passport. Let me right click at passport, then I copy it to the form folder I'm using. Let me paste it here. It is better for you to have your images pasted in the folder you're using to do your HTML. Now the image is passport, and of course if I want to put the image tag in my work, it was the image up next. I want to just use image source. We already studied this in the previous videos, image source, and of course I want to break it with a P paragraph. And then after putting image source, I'm going to put the location of the image in the quotes. Now the image is right here. I can open it with Firefox, and then I copy its path. Okay, I simply copy the path. We already looked at this. Ctrl C, and I can go to my code and paste the path there within the quotes. So the image path is already in the quotes, and I always like the size of a width that is 300. Width is equal to 300, and I can put height. You mind the spellings when you're typing, because if the spelling is having some error, what you want may not run. 250, then I first save, then I go back to Firefox. I run my my output. This is form 1. I'm going to open it with Firefox, and then I see whether my image is going to run. Oh yes, it is running, and according to the prototype, it seems I'm doing something right. Okay, applicant's name and then identification number, that is next up, and those are forms. Now a form is going to be, of course, a box that pushes a user to to communicate to the website. If you want to communicate with these people who designed the website, you can use a form. For example, if they want to know your name, you can type your name there. If they want to know your identification number, you can type it there. So a form is going to help the user and the designer of the website to properly communicate. Now applicant's name and identification number is what I'm heading to, and that is called a form. Of course, after the image, I'm going to type applicant's name, because it was the next part as displayed in the prototype. Applicant's name, yes, applicant's name. Then after typing applicant's name, I'm going to give it a form. Now a form is always having this type of tag. It's called inputs. Input type. Input type is equal to text. Input means what is the user trying to input. They are trying to input text because applicant's name is going to be text. They're going to be letters. Input type is equal to text. Now after typing text, I just put name equals to, so it's about applicants. It's about applicant's name. Yes. So note it that what I'm zooming in, this one here is a code that's going to run a form. It is input type is equal to text and name is equal to applicant's name. I said input, what is the user trying to input here? They're trying to input letters and the name is applicant's name. So I'm going to save this, then I'm going to go to, let me first break it at least to the P. Then I'm going to save it, then I go to run, and then of course it's going to run with applicant's name. Next up was identification number. Identification number, it's just the same. Of course I'm going to type identification number, then I put input type is equal to, now I can decide to give this number because an identification number, it could be maybe a number and they are not letters, they're just numbers. That's why I'm typing number, then name. Name, it is of course identification number. Okay, and here at identification number I can put the P. Of course that breaks. If I save this, then I go back to the Firefox, it's going to run it, but as a number where a user can just type a number. If I gave it text, these symbols will not be there. It could be like this because text, it's just a name. For example, someone is called Kasozi Marvin and they're trying to input their data, and the number, they can put some numbers they want. Maybe it is an identification number. A number can even be typed normally instead of using the arrows. Now back to the prototype. If for any type of form, if a user in HTML is creating a form, for example, I've created the first two forms, it is always correct to have the submit and the reset button. After typing information, you have to submit it to somewhere else, and after typing information, maybe you can reset it. Reset can mean remove. Submit can mean information is correct and it can be submitted somewhere. So if I want to create these two types of objects in HTML, the submit and the reset, I'm going to just use the code below. So I could just introduce the input type, just like the forms. Input type is equal to in quotes. This time around I want submit. After typing the submit, I'm going to type name and then I type submit again, because I'm trying to design a submit figure, submit structure rather. Value submit. So input type is equal to submit, name is equal to submit, value is equal to submit. Same applies to reset. I can type input type is equal to, because there were two, submit and reset. This one is reset now. Then name is equal to reset and value is equal to reset. Now those are the two structures and those are the codes that run them. Now let me first save and then I see how my search engine is going to behave. Okay, submit and reset, they are the same line with the identification number. Doesn't make sense. It means I have to at least break them with a P. Save and go back to Firefox, run. So that is something that is really correct. Note, this is the code that is trying to run what I am doing, and if this is your first video with HTML, you've not looked at the first 4 videos I made, it could be kind of fast, but I advise you to first go study the 4 videos I've made in the previous December month. You could really catch up with what I'm doing here. Now that is it with the submit and reset. Now the last part of page 1 is click here to proceed to our registration form. It was just a link. So I'm going to just run a link code. Now back to my text editor. Like I said, that is the code that is trying to do whatever I am running the other side. Now note that in some cases, even if I don't open the form tag, like in the video, I've not opened the form tag and it seems my forms are working. But in some cases, if your forms are not working, it means maybe you missed out on opening the form tag. For example, at the end of the image here, I went to the forms. The first type of form was application name, and it's advisable for you to open at least a form tag somewhere here, because applicant's name is here. So I can open the form tag and I can even close the form tag at the end of the submit and reset structures. So that is the form tag, but I didn't have it, but my code was running. But maybe if your code is not running, you can put them there the same way I've done. Now I go to the link tag. We already studied the link tag in the previous videos, and we said a link tag is going to run with ahref. Then I close the A, and then here is where I put whatever I want with my link. So ahref is equal to, is equal to what? What do I link to? I want to link to the other page. I think I renamed it form 2. I created 2 pages at the start of the video. This one here, I renamed it form 2, and it's what I want to link to. That is why I went to straight away check the name of the page. It is form 2 and it had some space there, .html. So you mind the space. If you had space, you put space there between form and 2. If you didn't have space, you don't put it there. Now here I can type something like click here to proceed. Click here to proceed to our registration form. Proceed to our registration registration form. Yes, form 2, then click here to proceed to our registration form. I can save this, and then I see what my search engine is going to run if I click at this. Now this is it with my first page, and if I click here, it's going to push me to the second page, but unfortunately I've not created anything on the second page. It's what I'm heading to. So I can click the arrow behind to go back to my first page. I talked of colors at the beginning of the video. If I'm putting a color at the body tag, biggie color, what I should mind about is you don't put a color that's going to make your page weird. For example, if I put something like a black color and then I go to my search engine, then I refresh, you see what happens? Now the color, in most cases you should be very mindful about the color you use here in HTML, because if you put some kinds of colors, your work would seem so crooked. Now black is not a right color. Let me see with cream, save, and then refresh. Even cream at my side, it's not a good color. Then what of silver? Just mind the spelling of the color you're putting. Silver, etc. There are a lot of colors, but I prefer the normal color white here at my page. Now that is the page 1, and it's looking like that. Straight away I'm heading to page 2. According to my prototype, page 2 had this information, and it had more types of forms, of course, because the video is about forms. That's why page 2 is pushing us to more types of forms as used in HTML. Now straight away I'm going to go to page 2, and of course I want to go to my folder I created. Then I go to form 2, open it with Notepad, a text editor, so that I see whatever I am doing. According to my prototype, page 2 started with Marvin Kasozi online learning area detailed registration form. So I can also type it in caps, Marvin Kasozi online learning area detailed registration form. Yes, and even at page 2 I want all my work to be in the center, so I want to open the center tag, then I close the center tag. That's all my work. Center. Okay, then I go to applicants, applicant detailed name. So I already have the 2, and I could maybe give this a font color. If you've been looking at my videos, I think you already know whatever I'm doing. Font color, and then the size is equal to use the 5 to the side. You can even put a U. This one is underlined. The U, and I even forgot to close the font tag. Font. Okay, then save, and then I first see what my search engine is running. Okay, it is running this, and it's just applicant detailed name that is not pushed to the next line. So I'm going to put a P paragraph to push it to the next line. Then I save, see what happens. Applicant's name, it is of course it's having that, is it a blue color, and it's having that size. I can give it a 3 size. So I can give it a font tag. I can close the font tag at it immediately. Font, then font color is equal to, I can give it a blue color. Then size, I can give it a 3, so that it doesn't match the size of the biggest heading we have in the page. So this is the Chrome, and if I refresh, applicant detailed name looks like that. Now back to the prototype. After applicant's detailed name, those are just forms that are created from first name, middle name, last name. They're just forms, and I've just created them in the first page. So it's what I'm going to go to in this page. So first name is the first form, then middle name is the next form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type first, before I even open the form, it's about first name, then input type is equal to text, then name is equal to first name. Input type is equal to text, then name is equal to first name, and then I want to just break this to the next line. I can use a BR tag instead of the P, and then I see how things are going to be moving on. So first name is right there, and it is having that small space because I used the break. Break is having something like a smaller space, but if I want to increase the space, I can put another BR to kind of increase on the space of first name. Now I'm heading to middle name, and it is another type of form. So what I'm going to do is I want to create a middle name. So it's middle name, then input type is equal to text, then I put name is equal to its middle name. Then I save. I see how my machine is going to behave. First name, middle name, and it's what is appearing in the prototype. They are the same line because I wanted them to be on the same line. That's why I didn't break the middle name form. So I'm heading to last name form. Now for that one I'm going to break it because it's broken to the next line. It is having that. I can put a BR. Then it is last name, and last name is having input type is equal to of course someone's last name can be text, then name is equal to last name. I can save this, then I can refresh. I see how my machine is going to behave. First name, last name. So maybe someone has typed their first name, last name, and middle name like such, and according to the prototype, that is it with first name, middle name, last name. Maybe last name is so close to middle name, I could just increase on that space by just putting another BR tag to create more space between last name and middle name. That is kind of better. So prototype, I'm heading to choose gender as another category. It is choose gender. So I'm also going to just type choose gender, then I give it what it should have. Of course, I'm going to use a P to break or to make a paragraph. The P is going to create more space, but one BR could create some smaller space. So choose gender is the next, as according to the prototype. So choose gender, if you look at my prototype here, choose gender is about male, female, and they're called radio buttons. How do I create them? Of course, I want to create them by using input type, but here the input type is going to change to radio, because I said they are radio buttons that enable someone to choose either female or male. So it is having radio, and I'm going to put name. It was gender, and after name I'm going to head to value, which is my first value is supposed to be male, because even here this one is male. Input type radio, name, gender, value is equal to male, and the very last part is putting male. Now you see, almost all forms, they're having the input type structure, but what changes, for the forms I used input type is equal to text. For the radio buttons I've used input type is equal to radio, and for the submit and reset I used input type is equal to submit. It's just the type that changes, but the input type is the same, the structure is almost the same. So what happens when I save and I go to Firefox, then I refresh, I'm going to get mail that is being generated. And for coding, things may be easy. If this is running already, I could just copy something like this, and then I paste it to create the female part as well. So I can copy this, then I paste somewhere here, so that I just change the value to female, and I could change this to also female, because it was male and female. So choose gender, the first input type, the two codes are right here. Choose gender, the first input type is radio, name is equal to gender, value is equal to male, and then male. Even here input type radio, name is equal to gender, value female, then female. Now that is how the radio buttons are going to work, and they could be about male or female. They could be about yes or no. Instead of typing male, you can type yes, and here you can type no. They can serve a lot of importances in HTML. So if I save this, then I open my Firefox, then I refresh, you see how things are going to be moving. Things are going to be changing. Now to the prototype, there is choose gender, male, female. That is done. I'm now heading to choose details. Actually it is contact details, not choose details, and it's just another form we have been using from first name. We even used it in the first page I created in the very video. That is why I'm going to easily repeat it. Now, like I said, some people could of course open the form tag. For example, I could decide to open the form tag from first name, because the forms are running from first name. I could decide to open the form tag from first name. Our first name is right here. I could decide to open the form tag, and I could decide to close the form tag from here if my forms are not working, but mine are working. That's why I'm not opening the form tags in any way. But it's a by the way if your forms aren't responding on your computer. Now I'm heading to the next item, that is contact details, email, and contact details, email, and physical address. So contact details, email and physical addresses, those are just forms, and they're just created by using the code below. I can put something like contact details. Contact details. Let me look at the contact details, and I can just break it by using a paragraph. Then input type is equal to text, name is equal to it is contact details. The next one was email, then physical address. So I can just highlight this, I copy it and then I paste, but this one is about email. I just put email. Same applies to this. I can put email, then physical address is the next one. Physical address. Even here I can put physical address. Then I save, and then I go back to my Firefox. I see how they run. Contact details, seems it is near choose gender. I can decide to kind of break it. I can create another P. Let me see whether another P can push it slightly down if I put it there. It is not. So I can use a BR to push it slightly down. Ctrl S, then I see how it's going to behave. I can add another BR if I want to continue pushing it slightly down. Sorry. Oh yeah. Contact details. It's now pushed slightly down. So having designed the contact details, email and the physical address as forms where someone can type their information, we can head straight away to the next item according to the prototype, and that item is course to study. So the next item is course to study, and it is independent and it is pushed to the next line. Course to study. And the next one is choose a course you're going to take up. Choose a course you are going to take up. Maybe someone is supposed to choose a course they're going to take up. Course to study, I can just give it a P, and this one is also having a P. And course to study had a color. I want to use fonts. Color is equal to, I saw it with the blue color. Forgot to put a blue in quotes. The size, I can give it a size of 3 fonts. If I go to my Firefox and then I refresh, it is going to behave in such a way. Course to study, choose a course you are going to take up. Now according to the prototype, I have the two boxes, 1, 2. One box is having Office package, then another box is having WordPress as a course someone could choose. Now we are heading to another type of form that is called a select form. A select form enables someone to just choose instead of typing. Instead of you typing Office package in a box, you can just click at a drop down, then you choose from a list that is already created for you. That makes choosing in a website kind of easier, as any user can really choose from any list. Now for us to create that type of structure, we're going to go and run this type of code. Was that this: choose a course you are going to take up. So if I want to choose, I'm going to create a form tag. Now the uppercase and the lowercase letters, don't mind in HTML. You saw that I've been using some uppercase, for example, at the body tag, and I'm now going to lowercase. They don't matter. What matters is the spelling of the text you're trying to type. So form, I've opened form and I've closed form. After opening form and closing form, I want to open a select tag, and then I close a select tag. I'm opening a select tag and I'm closing a select tag because the select tag, of course, it's going to enable a user select from a list. That's why I'm creating a select tag. So select, at the select tag I opened, I can put select name is equal to drop down, because I want to select a drop down where someone can select or where someone can choose. Select name is equal to drop down, then I go and put the values I want. Now I'm going to run option value. This one is new, so new option value, and then I close option value. Option value, then option value. Now the first option value is going to be office package. The first option value is office package. Then after typing office package, I want to just type selected office package, then selected. Then here I could just repeat office package. Let me first save. I see how my Firefox is going to behave, then I explain how it is done. Now it's picking up and it enables someone to select. Like I said, you select from a list, but my list is still having only one item. Why? Because in my code, after giving it a form, then a form, and then a select tag, then a select tag, select name, I give it drop down, and option value, I've given it only one option value, that is office package. Selected, then office package. That is why even here in the Firefox, it's only displaying office package. So if I want to put there another option a user can select from, of course, this is the code that's going to help me create another option. I can just copy it and then I paste office package. Maybe another type of course someone can take up is Photoshop. Then even here I could just repeat Photoshop. So if I save this, then I go back to Firefox and then I refresh. So I'm going to just click at this and you see Photoshop is now appearing at the second option because I've added another option value. Now back to my code. If I want to add another option value, of course I'm going to just add another option value, and it seems another course is web design. Then even here, web design. Save, go to Firefox and then refresh. You see how your options are now increasing to 3. So you could just know what is under the option value, what you type under this, so that you just copy and paste the rest of the options. Next up is networking. Maybe there's another course that is called networking, and the user can decide to study networking as a course. working. Then another course I decided to put there was computer repair. Computer repair. Computer repair. Then lastly there is WordPress. And then WordPress. So if I go to Firefox and I refresh, my list is going to have those options, because maybe a user should select from them and take up a course they want. Now that is a type of form that enables you to select instead of typing, like a physical address. Someone types there, and these ones, the radio buttons, you click at any. These ones you type, this one here you select. Those are the various types of forms you can find at a web page, and that is how they are designed. Each and every form has a way it is designed. If you look at this form of just typing, it is input type is equal to text, name is equal to contact details. This one of a radio, input type is equal to radio. And this one of selecting, it's just a form, then select, and then select, then drop down. It enables you to select from a drop down. And of course, just keep on practicing while looking at these videos. You could perfect at this. It's not that this could be studied within a day and you get to know it. It's just to know about it, to do with practicing. If you always practice the input types, the forms, the selecting, the radios, you can easily do this with time. And according to my prototype here, someone can select from the first box and then the second box. Maybe someone is supposed to take up 2 courses at a time. You select here, then here. So after that there was and. After typing the option values, I'm supposed to type and. So I go to and, decide to type and what? And another box having the same content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to the selections, and then I see what to do with them. Now the selection of the first boxes, it is right here. So I want to just go at the bottom of it, then I type the and I just highlight this. I'm only highlighting the selection from the drop down selection, and the selection I closed. I just copy it and paste, Ctrl S, then I go back to my Firefox, I refresh, and it's going to have 2 boxes where someone can select. Wow, that is a nice feature. And assuming someone wants to study web design and they want to study computer repair, they would just select them like such. Maybe this and it can be given another, of course, an outstanding structure. I can give it a font and give it another font color is equal to red. I like red. Then size is equal to, I can give it a 3 size. I can give it a face as well. Face Algerian. Myself, I see how my Firefox is going to behave. Yes, I'm supposed to study this and this, and according to my prototype, that is it with the selections. Now your response will be directed to your email within 24 hours. It's the next part of of the prototype. Your response will be directed to your email within 24 hours. Now, having put the selections and you're heading to something else, of course you're going to create this at the bottom of the form. It is no longer form, it is now just text. It is your response. Your response will be directed to your email within 24 hours. Will be directed to your email within 24 hours. Yes, and I think it had a MAQ. It's supposed to have a MAQ. I want to just open a MAQ tag as studied in the previous videos. Open it and close it from what you want it to affect. Save. Maybe it's broken to the next line. Then I'm heading to the next item, that is ensure the above information submitted is true before submission, otherwise reset and try again. Okay. Ensure the above information submitted is true before submission, otherwise reset and try again. This reset word had that red color, so I want to give it a font tab. Then I close the font tab from here so that it only affects the reset word. Font color is equal to red. Okay, then I just go to my Firefox, then I refresh. I see how my machine is going to behave. Now that is it. The MAQ is working and my information is all there. I can just zoom in to see how my form looks like. These are my forms so far. And my link is right here, pushing me to the right page. Okay, seems I'm getting to the bottom of this. That is submit and reset. So submit and reset is always going to occur as the very last part of the forms, because of course someone has typed the information, they have put the information there, and they want to either submit or reset. So if I want to submit and reset as we did in the previous page in the video, I want to just use the input type, of course. I want to put input type equals submit in quotes, name equals submit in quotes, then value equals submit in quotes. So that is how it's going to move. Now same applies to reset. Reset, it's just the same, but what changes is I'm just copying this, then I press enter, Ctrl V, I paste, I just change this to reset, then reset, then value, reset. Now that is it with submit and reset, and maybe I could just break them. I can put a P. Let me save and see how my Chrome is going to behave. They are pushed to the next line, and that is how they're looking like. Now that is submit and reset, and it will always appear as the last part of your form, of course, to give to give that impression of your form. And it is correct to always have a submit and reset button at the end of your form. Now, according to the prototype I was supposed to create these 2 pages of a form. The first page is here in my prototype, and in my search engine, if I open my first page, it is right here. My first page is right here. If I compare this, we continue to reduce the size of this. If I compare the two, of course, they could match. The forms are there, the links are there, submit and reset, the heading, what. Then the second page is right here, and it's having almost everything I was supposed to put in the form as I had as a target. Now this is it with the form, with a lesson, and it's what I wanted to share with you viewers. These videos were supposed to be uploaded in the December month, the videos of HTML, and it seems I'm getting to the very end of the videos. I still have a video to go, but if you're able to view the 5 videos I've done so far from the start of December, you'll be able to do a lot of HTML items as instructed in exams. Now the video I've just done is the very first video of 2025, and of course it's about forms, and I started with cover photo, and I said the video is going to cover a lot of forms, and indeed it is covering a lot of forms. And if you need to do any type of form in HTML, please run to this video. It could be of very good importance. It could be a backup to you in whichever aspect you're using it. This one is lesson 5 of HTML, and it has been about forms, and I've really created my forms, and they are really running, and it has been recorded on the first day of 2025. Today is January 1st. A happy new year to you all, people who are watching my videos, providing feedback, subscribing and commenting. Thank you for all you do. Now I've been using this to of course run the prototype, and let me first go back to my codes here. Then my 2 pages, I will not close them out of this, I need it. Okay, now if I'm having the 2 pages, it's better for you to link the 2 pages. Of course, if you're having more than 2 pages and your first page as an example links to the second page, but the second page doesn't link to the first page, of course it doesn't make sense. A user cannot, you're not supposed to push a user to use the arrows. Make your website a very nice place to be in. Now here at form 1, I had a link. If your link works at form 1, you can simply go to form 1 and of course copy the link. You see my link was here. If I copy this link, then I take it to form 2, I can take it to form 2, and I can put it at the very bottom here. Let me see. You can put something like 1 towards page 1, form 1, then click here, proceed to go back to our first, form. Then I run, I see how my form 2 is going to behave. Click here to go back to our first form. If someone clicks here, they go back to the first form, and if someone clicks here, they go to the second form. So your pages, if they're more than 2, they should have the links that are taking you to whichever page you want. So that is it with the video. Those are the forms in HTML. Thank you for viewing, and a nice time. Bye bye.